Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to open a box from Bells of Steel. Today we are going to open this box that contains a 4-kilogram pro-grade kettlebell from Bells of Steel. This is a piece of equipment that people have needed for a long period of time, but now I know that 2 companies are providing this. Today's opening instrument will be a K-bar truck knife. I'm not the biggest fan of the K-bar. I think the blade is really thick, and I think it would be better if the blade was thinner and broader, but this is a classic design. This is a modern interpretation, but you mostly buy something like this for the indestructible sheath. The sheath, how you carry your knife, is probably one of the most important parts of your knife. And of course, always push your knife away. Great thing about the K-bar sheath here is that it's hard plastic, it's indestructible, and stuff doesn't fall out of it. And then you can just throw it right back in your truck so you always have a knife. And here we go. Beautiful. 4K Bells of Steel, 9 pounds. That is a beautiful handle. The first thing we always look at with a kettlebell is the handle. And is it the correct shape? So most kettlebells that you buy at a big box store like Walmart or like Target or Dick's Sporting Goods are absolutely shit. And they do not work because they do not have the correct geometry of the handle to the bell. If it's wrong, then the heavy part of the bell sits directly on top of the joint. It hurts. People try to bend their wrist, then they learn the wrong thing in the beginning. This kettlebell is very much like this 4-kilogram bell from Pro Kettlebell. The difference is the geometry. The Pro Kettlebell has these apex points, and it tricks people into laying the bell in the proper spot on their arm no matter what. When people pick up this bell, if they try to hold it wrong in what we call a barbell grip, where the handle is parallel to the hand instead of in a kettlebell grip, then that bump would be driving directly into the back of their arm, and they would be encouraged to hold the bell correctly. Down at a 45-degree angle, the L of the hand into the corner, or the L of the kettlebell. That allows people to stack their wrist up. This is important because it allows people to lift weights for long periods of time. Barbells and dumbbells are not designed to do that. People can lift kettlebells like this, and you will see a lot of super strong barbellers in like the CrossFit games doing that, but think about doing that for millions of reps. Eventually, because of the speed and the number of reps in kettlebells, people will do damage to their wrist. The proper way to hold a kettlebell is somewhere close to this. That varies a little bit based on style and based on the bell. The Bells of Steel bell does not have that feature. Only the Pro Kettlebells do. That is a new innovation. But this bell is half the cost of this bell. I think that this is an incredibly important innovation to get people towards something like this. This is a full-size competition adjustable kettlebell. Kettlebells that are competition all have the same outside geometry so that they always catch the same way, so that as you go up in weight, the technique stays exactly the same. This bell replaces about 19 other bells. So imagine 19 of these all over here. This bell replaces that. There is no super light version. This only goes down to 12 kilogram or 25 pounds. The problem is that can be too heavy for a lot of people who are deconditioned or who have been severely hurt. There are a lot of people who've been severely hurt. I've been looking for this specifically for a friend of mine who was in the military. He got a spinal injury. They told him he could not be fixed, but I disagree. I think that we can fix almost anybody if we can get the proper equipment and start at a light enough weight. This weight is only 9 pounds. Now you can start doing a proper clean and press program with proper geometry, and you can work on your structure, breathing, and movement. People who've had spinal injuries, disc degeneration, impact injuries that cause severe spinal problems, need a light weight. Just by swinging a light weight and catching cross-body stability, the body can start to rebalance the hemispheres, the left side of the spine and the right side of the spine, the clean and the press. Think there's 4 core firings in each rep. At the bottom, that's one type of core firing. Number 2, when you hold a weight at shoulder height, the muscles on the opposite side of your body fire to keep you from being pulled to the side, even if it's a light weight. Overhead, different core. Bring it back down. That's the 4th fire, and then it starts over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For every 1 rep you're doing, you're firing your core 4 times. So doing a proper clean and press program can help people learn to involuntarily fire their core muscles properly again so that they can eventually go from a 4K to a 6K to an 8K to a 10K so that they can get to a 12K. Pro Kettlebell is also making magnets that will go on bells like this, so it will be able to go 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K, 8K, 9K, 10K, 11K. You can now start light and you can do a very specific mathematical program. And I think that this piece of equipment will allow people to re-access and rebuild the athleticism that they had when they were kids or before they were hurt, or if they never had it. Some people are deconditioned, they never had it. This is now a perfect starting point to get people all that they want out of health and fitness. The good thing about this bell is that it is half the price of this bell. That can be important psychologically. Also, it's a full-size looking bell and it's black. Oftentimes when you go to big box stores, the light bells are stupid colors. They're pink, they're yellow, they're lime green. They don't fit, and you spend a bunch of money on something that's absolute trash, and then people think that kettlebells don't work, and then they don't get what they want out of it. Oftentimes people will buy something that they like the look of more, even though it's too heavy, and then they train with it twice and they put it down. This helps people make that leap. It's inexpensive, it's not that much money. It's a little bit more than a bell that you would get at Walmart. Walmart, the bells are, I think, for this range, for 9-10 pounds, are about $25. This is, I think, in the $50 range. I'll annotate down below. But getting a good piece of equipment that you actually want to train with is very important psychologically for people who are starting out training. It doesn't look terrible. It functions exactly as it needs to. There is no compromise, and it's half the cost of this more expensive bell. Granted, this bell, if you have the money, is an absolute Ferrari. Think of anything from Pro Kettlebell as a Ferrari. Think of this as like an F-250 truck. When you get better at belling, this is definitely a way to go if you have the space to store them. If you don't have the space, then you would go with something like an adjustable bell and you'll be good forever. Thank you to Bells of Steel for making equipment for half of the population. Think right now, 60% of the population of America has back pain. 60% of 330 million people, that's over half. That could be 180 million people could benefit from starting with this exact weight. How many people do you know who are injured, who have spinal injuries, who have knee injuries, who have shoulder injuries? They could all benefit from starting with this. This is filling a void in the market that will allow people to get better and better and better, a little bit better every day. Spend money on good equipment that doesn't go bad and allows you to get what you want out of training. Money spent on good gear is never wasted if it helps you get where you want to go.